TeleRay exchange. As the use of CDs and DVDs for transferring patient studies inevitably winds down, the decision to move to internet-based electronic exchange of patient data and images has become highly controversial in most medical institutions. So why the controversy in the first place? And what factors affect the decision going forward? Firstly, since healthcare deals with human life, any changes are naturally highly considered, weighed, and necessarily slow. For perspective, the banking industry has always been extremely conservative about security of customer data, yet it moved to online access and transfer of funds over a decade ago, and other industries have followed suit. Even computer manufacturers find disks so old that CD, DVD drives are no longer incorporated into their devices. When did you last use a CD except for medical purposes? So why does healthcare hold out? The biggest reason is that disks are still HIPAA compliant, and any decision to move away from an already compliant process will naturally need careful consideration. People rarely get fired for keeping the status quo, but that doesn't mean it's a good decision to do so. For example, vaccine is still compliant, but it has obvious risks for exposing healthcare data just like disks. Also, compliance is a nuanced and multifaceted term which further complicates decisions regarding losing devices, both the disks themselves and the systems that make them. Hacking disks and systems, meaning any unauthorized access to patient data by a third party. Improper storage and distribution of disks that can create a series of breaches that accumulate over time. Timely distribution of data within the authorized period. Disks are particularly vulnerable to this violation due to the lead time to process the request, create and package the disk, and then its physical movement to the patient, usually by mail, since sending by regular email is a likely violation. You only have 15 days in all cases. Distribution on day 16 is a violation. Further, failure to keep an audit trail of every detail of creation to distribution is another violation. Lastly, improper disposal of data and the maintenance of an audit trail that must detail employee action in the process. Once all the compliance issues are retired, other concerns such as security, speed, cost, ease of use, interoperability, patient satisfaction, and empowerment. Reduction of duplicate scans and practical workflow issues need to be considered for the proposed alternative. For example, in trauma cases where imaging has been performed and the patient is being transferred, many providers' standard of practice places the CD under the patient's right hip so no time is wasted by the receiving trauma center trying to find it. This can literally be a matter of life and death. So if disks are no longer used, procedures like these require a new method embedded into practice. When looking at it this way, it is easy to see why moving away from disks is a controversial or difficult decision. TeleRay is an electronic exchange and telehealth platform which is approved and used by 70% of the top 50 medical institutions in the U.S. TeleRay not only exceeds all HIPAA, HITRUST, ISO, SOC, and other certifications for guaranteed compliance, but offers the highest level of speed in its proprietary endpoint-to-endpoint transfer system, protected by an ultra-secure private key network. There is nothing more secure on the market, and much more so than a disk. So why do healthcare systems choose TeleRay? It's because we understand the concerns about electronic exchange and relieve the pain of making the commitment to move away from discs. After satisfying the compliance, security, speed, and cost requirements, our users are pleasantly surprised to find that TeleRay is easy to use with many extra features to make life easier. For example, the platform filters and optimizes data and images to make sure they are universal and will work with any PACS workstation or modality. This is a significant problem with CDs and DVDs. TeleRay prevents the unnecessary rescans, workflow interruptions, and delays to care caused by unreadable discs. Patients appreciate receiving their images and results in their own free account and having control over their data. Since the transfer is endpoint to endpoint, the institution has clean hands from a compliance perspective, since there's no liability tether between those sharing the data. As a further benefit, TeleRay can put a link to the images in any EMR, including Epic MyChart, so diagnostic images are read in full DICOM fidelity, rather than a PDF copy, which is, you guessed it, yet another HIPAA violation. The trauma example above and other high-risk situations benefit greatly from TeleRay's speed, ease of use, and interoperability. When a study is sent, you can be confident it went securely, quickly, and will be readable when received by the trauma center. No need to wait for a CD to burn, resulting in delay of care. By using TeleRay, that patient would be in the air or ambulance quicker, with the receiving medical team reviewing the studies and formulating a care plan in lieu of the patient's arrival. While TeleRay is far less expensive than discs, and it's great to save money, saving lives is ultimately the goal. So if you could greatly reduce cost, increase efficiency, be more secure, have happier patients, happier referring physicians, and know you have guaranteed compliance, why wouldn't you try TeleRay? If that's not enough, we'll remove any remaining hesitation by adding a $2 million breach policy to indemnify against using the best platform available. Let us be your go-to exchange platform and enjoy the same confidence in sharing patient data that nearly 500 million PayPal users have in securely sharing their hard-earned cash. We offer a free 30-day trial to evaluate TeleRay and learn why we've been the trusted choice for healthcare in navigating away from discs. Call today for an online demo and quote www.teleray.com. Info@teleray.com. 844-4-TeleRay